What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. After a day of low support, that's right, both streams, that's right. Pragmata and Pokemon failed to save the business yesterday. Our boy Phil was not too happy. Support was very slow and very low. I mean, everything, engagement, views, the trifecta, the three-pronged stool that keeps DSP gaming afloat. And as you can see from this pause still here, our boy's reeling over here. He needs some more gin. He needs some more gin to cope with the fact that the business wasn't saved because of Pragmata and Pokemon did not bring the butts to the yard. That's right. So let's see what Phil had to say on the daily rap. I'm pretty sure he'll try to justify it somehow. And of course he'll tell you, don't worry guys, the sky isn't falling, and all of the other, all of the other self-soothing things he likes to say to make himself feel better. So let's see what he had to say on the daily rap.
Here and welcome to the daily wrap for what was Monday, the 20th of April, 2026, my second of 4 days of streaming this week. I know that that's abnormal. Normally I would be here for 5 or 6 or more days, and it's a very short streaming week because of some personal stuff going on later in the week, but next week is going to be super long, so don't worry. Today, let me put it this way. Today was a good day. Today was a fine day. A little confusing, but still overall a good day. You'll see what I mean when we start to talk about the streams, okay? We started off today with a DSP morning show. And to be honest, there was no real one stuck topic that we talked about. Basically, I just hung out with everyone and did Q&A. And to be honest, that's always been what the DSP morning show was going to be. Just kind of hanging out and killing about an hour to build up attendance. So then we have a good attendance for when we start with gameplay. But because the morning show usually only lasts around an hour, it means that we get at least 3 or more hours of gameplay on said stream, as opposed to when we do a formal level 1 podcast and there's usually set topics and established, news and reacting we're going to do. That show's at least usually 90 minutes or longer, right? So after a chill and fun morning show on which we raised something like $50+ of support, which I was very grateful for,
I want to pause it here because have you noticed he's doing about 2 podcasts a week? That's right. The level 1 podcast, he's only doing it twice. And then the other 4 days, he's doing this morning day nonsense thing, which essentially is the daily rap, just a little bit shorter. I think the reason why he's trying to do this is because he's trying to starve detractors. He knows that when he does a podcast, he tends to crash out. And that's where most people farm clips, where he's crashing out. And I think he's making a concerted effort recently to try not to crash out and give content to detractors. And, that's going about as good as Phil thinks it's going, which isn't well. It doesn't matter. I mean, yesterday he crashed out about 2 things. He crashed out about Street Fighter, and he also crashed out about AI music taking his ad revenue or whatever. It doesn't matter because inherently this guy just likes to complain about everything. And the thing too is that he complains in a way that it's very annoying, because typically when someone streams and they complain every so often or whatever, they bring something up and it's just, they talk about how it's just a nuisance or whatever. You don't get the sense that they outright are hating the company, the group, people, they're upset. You know what I mean? It really comes off whenever Phil complains about anything. It always comes off with that first world problem feel. You know what I mean? And no one has any sympathy for you, Phil, because it's like, dude, are you really bitching and complaining about this mundane thing that everyone in the world has to deal with? It's not that deep. He went off about the furniture company the other day that apparently were across the street from him, and he saw them, and then he thought that they were in the wrong place, and then he had to flag them down. They ignored him. Lo and behold, someone else bought furniture in that area, and they were doing a delivery there first before they dropped it off on Phil's house. But of course, if you hear Phil, it was those people were stealing my furniture. It's insane. The way this man lives, the way he thinks, it's insane. So I think he's doing these more Monday chill sessions. 1, because he doesn't have to prepare anything, so it gives him an excuse to just sit there and look at chat and wait for people to give him money. And 2, he hopes not to crash out, which, Phil, if you're watching this, brother, you're not succeeding. You're failing pretty badly. I mean, and it doesn't matter. I get literally 1 or 2 crash outs a day. Literally 1 or 2 crash outs a day without even looking for it. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. Just wanted to highlight that point about the morning show slash podcast, whatever the hell he wants to call it.
We jumped back into Pragmata. So what did we do today in Pragmata's 3+ hours of gameplay? Well, we continued to explore the virtual 3D printed New York City. We fought new enemy types. We unlocked new weapons. We upgraded said weapons that we had. We actually got the ability to disintegrate those misprinted areas that basically are like, the colored, almost like stalactites or stalagmites, whatever they're called, that were blocking doorways. And so when we got the ability to do that, I decided to backtrack a bit, go back to the earlier stages, and get some of the upgrades and items that we had missed out on because we didn't have that ability at the time. And then we got to the end of the New York stage, and it was a big boss fight in the middle of the street, which was really awesome. Like, this thing going right down like Times Square in New York, and there's a giant boss fight, okay? It was pretty fun. And then after that, we unlocked all kinds of new stuff, including these training room challenges that give you more upgrade items. Some more plot was unlocked, and we went to a new area called the Terra Dome, which is essentially terraforming. When you think about it, on the moon, they were generating virtual plants from 3D printing. So, pretty cool, because now you have all kind of plants and flora as you're fighting the crazy, robots that are there. And again, got more new weapons and things like that, and advanced the plot in a big way. So, good stuff moving forward today. 3 solid hours, okay? If reports are to be, believed, we'd be about halfway into the game. I don't know, though, because I am taking my time to explore and the like. So I'm thinking maybe we're like 2/5 through the game, if that makes sense. And maybe next stream we get more than halfway through. I don't know. I'm not cheating. I'm not looking ahead or anything. But that's just kind of the impression I got after playing the game today. So here's what happened, okay? Overall, I thought the gameplay in the game was great. I have no complaints. I still like the game a lot. Attendance was pretty good. But here's the weird part. Engagement. The stream chat was pretty slow. On the YouTube side, it was, actually not being talked about that much. On the Kick side, it was people talking about anything but the game. And I noticed, I'm like, I wonder why so many people just aren't engaging with this game or really talking about it. Okay? Support. I'm not going to exaggerate here. All right? By the time that we were only like maybe 30 minutes to the end of the stream, we hadn't even hit $100 of support. In fact, for the whole first hour and a half that I played the game, we got no support. None. Zero. Not a single contribution. All that $50 or so came in on the DSP morning show, and there was no support for this game. So I'm wondering what gives, and it's weird because the game...
Okay, I want to stop it. I want to stop it real quick here, because the other day he went on a rant about me. He didn't say my name, but he knew it was me. He was talking about how I lied about a title of a video where I said that he only made $38 or something like that on his... I think it was the Pragmata stream. And I do this from time to time, right? And it's not that he makes $38 for the whole stream. It's that he made $38 for the gameplay. And he says, oh, I'm being disingenuous. I'm lying, blah, blah, blah. No, Phil, the reason why I do that is because you do that. You sit here and complain about when your money comes in. So you're complaining that you made $50 on your podcast or your morning show, right? And then when you streamed Pragmata, you only made another, $50, $60. So it's you that bring up the fact that you only make a certain amount of money during a certain segment. So it's perfectly fine for me to highlight the point that you only made $38 or $40 or $20 during a gameplay, okay? If you don't like that, tough shit, brother, I'm sorry. But you set the standard. So the next time you rant and rave about me being deceptive and a liar and taking stuff out of context, please reference this video right here. Because here you're literally segmenting out when you receive your contributions. So if you can do it, I think it's perfectly fine that I do it. So stop your complaining, stop your whinging, okay?
Is popular right now. People are talking about it. People are memeing about it on social media. It sold over 1 million copies in 2 days, which actually is surprising. Like, Capcom didn't expect that because they knew it being a new IP and the fact that it actually had been delayed, they didn't think that it was going to do very well. So they were actually shocked that it did as well as it has. I just don't know what's going on with the game. By the end of the stream, okay, it was time for DSP tries it, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I think I raised something like $115 or something like that by the end of the stream. Is that bad? By all means, no. But that is surprising for a new release that everyone said they loved last week, that it's only the second stream of. I mean, no exaggeration, random streams of games like Dragon Quest, Pokemon, Crimson Desert, all have done better than Pragmata's second stream. So I'm not sure if people are playing it themselves and don't want to be spoiled. I don't know if people just don't like it on my stream. I don't want to make excuses for it.
I don't want to make excuses for it while making excuses for it. It's you, brother, okay? It's you. And again, I don't know why you think that you own this infinite money glitch on your streams, and that you should be getting $150, and not even $150, by the way, because he made, I think he made on Pragmata, the initial stream, I think he made like 120, and then NDO came in at the very last minute and dropped like 10 subs, which got him to his goal, right? And even that's not enough. So I don't even think for him 150 is enough. Like, he expects a minimum now of about $200 per stream. He won't say that, but that's the truth. That's the honest truth, because that's the way he acts, right? Now, he's gonna sit here and talk about how he's not complaining, he's not upset, but all he's doing is just throwing out a litany of excuses because he thinks that he's special, right? And he thinks that that money glitch should always apply, and there should be no circumstance where, at a minimum, his idiots can't give him $150 per stream. I mean, that is the base. And whenever he makes less than that, even if it's $149, it's if you know, the God himself revealed himself to him and gave him the meaning of life, and it confused him so much that he just didn't know what to do with it. And that's what he's doing here, sitting here wondering what in the world happened. Your dents have limited cash, Phil. Okay, none of them own a special magical Velcro wallet where every time they open it, it has money. Okay, I'm sorry, and we're heading towards the end of the month. People are, you know, and at that, it's a mid-paycheck thing. Most people got paid last week, right? They get paid every 2 weeks. The next paycheck doesn't come to the 30th of the 1st, Phil. People just don't have that cash to continuously drop on you. And again, let me highlight the point. You got about 10 to 15 supporters. Okay, you got about 2 or 3 whales. That's all you got. So when they're tapped out, you're done. You have nothing. And at that, I don't know why you're complaining. You made $115 on your first playthrough. You made $115 on your night stream. What the hell are you complaining about, Phil? What justification do you have here to complain? All right, let's keep going.
It's a good game. Like, I really like it. I don't get it. Engagement and support both being low is kind of weird for a brand new release on its second stream, okay? Then we did DSP tries it, and it was the Smash Burger Munchies box from Jack in the Box. And all I'm going to say is you'll find it entertaining because some of the stuff in the box was pretty good. Some of the stuff in the box was mid. Some of the stuff in the box was terrible, disgustingly bad. And they forgot one of the key components of the box. So I think you'll like it. The episode is live over on DSP Reacts right now, at DSP Reacts. Give it a look.
Spoiler, so you don't have to watch that boring nonsense. He was supposed to get some type of sticker or something that he can win a chance, get a chance of winning $75,000, and they didn't include it, and he made a big stink out of it because he literally thought he was going to win. So, Phil, the special boy Phil, thought he was going to be a thousandaire, and it didn't work out for him. So he ranted and raged about that. I'm pretty sure he called DoorDash and got a refund just because of that.
And now we got to brainstorm the next DSP tries it. We already have an idea or two, and we'll talk about it over the next week. So yeah, that first stream ended at less than $120 of support, which is abnormal for a game. That's a new release that's only second stream. Okay. Tonight on the late stream, it was Pokemon Fire Red. Now, last week, we had the experiment of trying this as a night stream. Remember that Pokemon had always been a daytime stream, and some people were concerned. They were like, yeah, if you make this a night stream, you may lose some attendance and you may lose some support, because some people can only make it for day streams of Pokemon, okay? But last week...
Yes, Phil, your children have school the next day. They can't stay up at 11, 12 o'clock in the morning watching you playing Pokemon, okay, Phil? You don't realize that. And again, Phil, he's such a narcissist, selfish person that he thinks that, you know, because he lives in the Pacific time zone, everyone should follow that time zone. No, Phil, in the United States, brother, most people live in the East Coast, okay? I believe like 60 or 70% of the United States population actually lives on the East Coast, mostly in bigger cities up in the Northeast and also down in the South as well. You know, I know you have California, but that's about it, okay? So most people live in the Northeast. So maybe, just maybe, you should alter your schedule to meet that, you know, to meet that schedule. You might do a little bit better, Phil. Honestly, you probably will.
That first stream as a night stream went well. Tonight, I'll say this. Attendance, little slow, but okay. Engagement, great. Support, not bad, but not great. Kind of in the middle. Actually did better than the Pragmata stream, which is ridiculous. That a game from the early 2000s, that's a remake of a game from the 90s, that's a Pokemon game, and we play Pokemon all the time, did better than the brand new hot release. That's what I mean about today. This is why it was confusing. It threw me for a loop, right? The thing is that I figured that the late night Pokemon streams wouldn't always do well, but every once in a while, maybe more people would be able to come to them or whatever. So I'm happy with how it went. Obviously, it would have been great if it was like an outstanding support stream and it would have made up for Pragmata, but you can't get that all the time. So overall, I'm happy with today. What did we do in Pokemon? We went to the Safari Zone. We spent almost the whole night in the Safari Zone, not only trying to catch rare Pokemon like Sea King and Dratini and stuff like that. We also tried Clefairy and more, but also we had to get the items there. So we did get the gold teeth and we did get the surf goals. I don't have goals. I'm doing well enough. I don't have goals. I don't need them.
Oh, hold on a second.
We'll say stuff like that. Oh, you see, great. You know, it wasn't. I don't want anyone to get the impression, oh, it was a slow day or whatever. Because sometimes people will say stuff like that. Oh, you see, first of all, Phil didn't hit his goals. I don't have goals. I'm doing well enough. I don't have goals. I don't need them. Okay, I do well off. Some days I get ridiculous amounts of support. Other days it's slower. That's the nature of how it works. Today was just one of those weird days that it actually was a little slower. And I don't know why when I'm playing a new release. It was actually confusing in that regard. Maybe you guys have some insight. If you want to leave a comment and let me know what you think happened with Pragmata. With Pokemon, I expect it to go a little up and down on late streams. I really do. But Pragmata, I'm shocked that it was, you know, as it was. Okay?
Shocked.
Anyway, all the content will be going live overnight. I hope you'll check it out.
Okay, Phil. All right. There's no difference, Phil. There's no difference in not having a goal and acting like you have a goal. Okay? There's absolutely no difference. If you sit there and complain and constantly bring up donations and sit here on your daily wrap and talk about how support was slow, that means that you have a specific number in your mind of what that playthrough should bring you. And if you don't make that money or that number, there's a problem, okay? So again, Phil, I know you love to play this fucking little you know, these word games with people, and you think that if you say call to action or momentum instead of give me money, that it's different. No, it's exactly the same, Phil. There's literally no difference in your wording, okay? That's just semantics. You want to play the semantics game? Knock yourself out, but no one buys it, all right? And this is what you're doing here. You're using semantics to act like you don't have goals, or to state you don't have goals. What you're trying to do, Schrodinger's bag. So essentially, he doesn't have a goal, but yet still has a goal. So he's able to fulfill the promise he made Asmongold, where he wouldn't have goals, but yet still demand goals from his Dent. Do you see what he's saying here, Phil? You see what I'm saying here, Phil? There's no difference. If you act a certain way, but say something else, you're contradicting yourself, okay? And that's what you're doing here, Phil, with your goals, okay? You might as well just have fucking goals. Just have a goal. Do it. Why are you afraid to have a goal? You had goals for like the last, 10 years? Everyone knows you have it in your mind, and when you hit a specific number, then you become happy and excited and everything's good to go. If you make less than that number, then you're dour, you're moody, you get upset, you get triggered, you yell at people. That's what happened last night during Pokemon, right, Phil? Didn't you yell at someone last night during your Pokemon stream? As soon as you ended the stream, you called someone a stupid regard, right? Right? Good God. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm going to be streaming today. I'm going to be on at 9:30, actually in about 15 minutes. So if you got nothing better to do, come hang out. If not, I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.